And we're sort of celebrating today because it's going to be 60 years this week since the first televised weather forecast on the BBC. Carol's here with us to talk about that. Also, of course, tell us about the forecast as well. Morning again.
Good morning. It's lovely to be here, I must say. And there's quite a bit of weather going on, although it's a lot quieter than it has been during the rest of this week. Now, what you can expect today is some patchy rain moving from the west towards the east. As we head into the weekend, it will be drier and colder, but by Sunday, we're looking at a new band of wet and windy weather coming in from the west. Now, you can see today's weather front here. As it drifts steadily towards the east, it's bumping into high pressure, so it's going to continue to weaken and also fragment. So the rain on it fairly light. So to start the day, it's cold. There's some frost around. Watch out for ice. Some showers too, and then the rain advances from the west towards the east as we go through the course of the day. So by the time we get to the afternoon in the southwest, you'll have that rain, but as you can see from the charts, it is fairly patchy. Not all of us getting it, and it will be fairly light too. Wales too, you'll have the rain piling in from the west. Similar story, the frontal system is weakening, but it will have cleared Northern Ireland, so brightening up, but it will be a cool afternoon for you in Northern Ireland. As the rain clears from western Scotland, we'll see an increase in showers. Some of those will be wintry. And then as we push down towards the southeast of Scotland and into the northwest of England, there's our weather front producing the rain. Northeast England into the Midlands, East Anglia and the southeast, here too, a lot of dry weather, just one or two showers. And along the south coast, at times, we'll see one or two showers developing. Now, through the evening and overnight, there goes our frontal system pushing down towards the southeastern corner, the northern end of it into the North Sea. Behind it, under clearer skies, it's going to be cold. Once again, there'll be some frost around. Watch out for ice, and the showers still wintry around the Highlands, possibly the Grampians, Argyll and Bute, and also Lochaber. We start tomorrow with the dregs of the rain in the far southeast, but you can see tomorrow is going to be a gorgeous day for most of us. There'll be a lot of sparkly sunshine, some showers persisting across Scotland and at lower levels at times. Again, they could be wintry, but we don't expect them to be problematic. Temperatures closer to where they should be at this time of the year, but only 3 degrees in Aberdeen, you'll notice that. And then as we head on into Sunday, we start off on a cold and a frosty note. There'll also be some fog, but for central and eastern areas, largely dry. But then our next Atlantic system swings in from the southwest, introducing some rain and also strengthening winds. And that's all going to push eastwards as well. But it will clear during the course of Sunday. And Monday, Lou and Charlie, is looking quite pleasant as well with some sunshine.
That's good to hear. I know you're going to be sitting on the sofa in a minute, Carol, because we're talking about tomorrow marking the 60th anniversary of the BBC TV weather. And the first forecast in 1954 made headlines for predicting, I love this, the perfect day for drying clothes.
What is the perfect day for drying clothes, Carol? What is that?
Windy, dry, and also if it's hot, of course, you put your towels out, they're dry in a nanosecond.
Perfect, nanosecond. You see, it's very precise now. It was another 20 years before the first female presenter appeared on our screens. Our correspondent Nick Hyam has been taking a look behind the scenes at how the faces technology of the weather has changed.
It's going to be a dull and wet start to the day.
1953, and the man from the Met Office tries out for a new job, television weather forecaster. Jack Armstrong later became a familiar face, but it was his colleague George Cowling who actually delivered the very first forecast.
We'd been briefed to try to be a bit human, and I mentioned that tomorrow was going to be a good day for hanging out the washing, and this was something that had never been said before, and the press really took this up and thought that was a jolly good thing.
The forecasters became familiar personalities.
You swine!
The sun has got his hat on, hip, 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 hooray! The sun has got his hat on and he's coming out today.
The first woman arrived only in 1974 and found being in the public eye disconcerting.
And he's coming out today.
It did get to me a bit. All the criticism, especially about clothes and hair, and I mean most of the letters and things I got were lovely, very complimentary and very nice, but of course it's the critical ones that you remember.
Some forecasts became notorious.
Earlier on today, apparently, a woman rang the BBC and said she heard that there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't.
But there was a most terrible storm that October night in 1987. It's not as easy as it looks, as the amateurs show when from time to time they have a go.
In the west, rain will be lighter and patchier. There will maybe a few drier interludes over Dumfries House in Ayrshire. Aha.
Actually, it wasn't bad.
To the higher ground.
This is one of the weather studios at Broadcasting House. It's the one they use for the weather forecast after the 10 o'clock news in the evening, though if you live in Scotland, Wales or Northern Ireland, you won't see that. One thing that hasn't changed in 60 years is that weather forecasters need to be able to talk for up to 4 minutes precisely at a time without a script, and in this studio at any rate, without any kind of map or chart behind them, though there is one when they look at themselves in the screen. The thing that's changed completely in the past 60 years is the technology involved.
Hand-drawn charts gave way to magnetic symbols that stuck to the charts, or sometimes didn't.
Oh dear, let's do it again.
Computer graphics arrived in the 1980s. Today's forecasts are more detailed and, they claim, more accurate than ever.
It's been shown that the 4-day forecast today is more accurate than the 1-day forecast was 30 years ago. You may not believe that, but that's been shown. So forecasts have improved.
Today's forecasters are still employed by the Met Office. There's a team of 18. And just now, they're not short of work. Nick Hyam, BBC News.
The other thing about the weather, of course, Carol, is people love it when it all goes wrong, don't they?
When does that happen, Charlie?
Well, if you weren't watching earlier on, it did go a bit wrong this morning, didn't it? And the irony being that you were illustrating the old-style technology, and lo and behold, your graphics, kind of something went a bit awry.
Thank you very much for pointing that out.
We're an open family here, aren't we? We share.
We share our mistakes.
It was because of your...
My clicker, but isn't that blooming typical? You know, I'm waxing lyrical about how fabulous the graphics are today, and the whole lot went back into reverse. And that is because of my clicker. The clicker that I use in the other studios only goes one direction.
Can we get close on what Carol's done to the clicker?
That is forwards, so it only goes closer.
So what we've done here is we put somebody very kindly, Andy's put you a little bit of cardboard so you can't make it go backwards. See, that's what you've got to do. You improvise in your job, don't you?
I know, you have to.
It's
because
the blend of new and old.
And the other thing as well is I can be standing over there, you can throw me anything, I have no idea what is coming my way.
Especially when it's Charlie.
Especially with Charlie and drying his towels. What are you like, Charlie?
Well, I did ask Carol, out of curiosity, whether you can dry your towels in cold weather. You know, if you put them outdoors and it's cold, they still get dry, they do.
You can, especially so if there's a breeze, and yes, they do take longer. And it depends how wet they are. If you put something out that's sodden...
Well, yeah, I figured that out.
Are you sure, Charlie?
Good question. Oh, Carol, thank you very much. Lovely to see you here. I will see you a little bit later. Thank you.
7:53 the time.
Oh, yes, Carol, you